Chapter 7, A Lifetime of Cover-Ups. From Angel Road and Elm Guest House to Bryanston to Nottingham's allegations of abuse have been met with derision and denial. VIPs always appear to be cleaner than fresh laundry. Why are they allowed to not only break the law but are protected into the bargain? Leon Britton, for instance, is alleged to have abused children on many occasions but was never formally arrested for any crimes, and he's not the only one. Lord Janner, yet another high-ranking official who seemed to be saved by death. It does appear that death is the only thing that saves VIPs from facing the music. What are the links between children's homes and the VIP pedophile rings operating around them? Well, first off, you have the carers, the people charged with looking after these vulnerable children, people like Michael John Carroll from Angel Road Children's Home in Lambeth. Having already been convicted of sex offences against children, he was given the job of house warden, and although it came to light that he was a pedophile, he wasn't dismissed as you would imagine, but allowed to carry on abusing young children in his charge until finally being sacked, not for abusing kids, but for filling expenses. Who was protecting Carroll? We don't know, but he applied to adopt with Southwark Council and was rightly knocked back once his conviction came to light. A senior Labour dignitary rang Southwark and tried to pressure them into allowing him to adopt 2 children. Luckily, Southwark stuck to their guns and were not intimidated, and Carroll never got the boys. Carroll was arrested and charged with 35 counts of abuse from 1966 up to 1986, and when he appeared at Liverpool Crown Court he was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment. Another person sent to prison for child abuse was John Allen from South Vale Children's Home in Norwood, yet another Lambeth-run home, and later of North Wales in a home called Bryn Allen. Unlike Carroll, Allen was acquitted because the judge felt he wouldn't get a fair trial. Rumours were that Allen supplied children to VIP pedophiles, including Sir Peter Morrison, an aide to Margaret Thatcher, and also to the Dolphin Square complex in Pimlico. This is where children were allegedly raped and murdered during parties set up for MPs and dignitaries. Lots of names have been associated with children's homes, Dolphin Square, and of course the Elm Guest House in Barnes in southwest London. These include MPs like Leon Britton, Cyril Smith, Lord Janner, and even Edward Heath, the former Prime Minister, as well as Cliff Richard. Also pedophiles were Intelligence Chief Sir Peter Heyman and the spy Anthony Blunt. But probably most shockingly are the rumours of Lord Mountbatten of Burma and his not-so-secret visit along with Ted Heath and Jimmy Savile to Kincora Boys' Home in Belfast. It appears children were shipped all over the place, many being held in transit at other homes awaiting delivery to Elm Guest House in Dolphin Square. None of the big names ever seem to get to court due to disappearing files or evidence, witnesses dying prior to court cases, or accused dying before justice can be served. Rumors abound about the deviant Jimmy Savile, who could go down as the most prolific serial pedophile of all time. There is even evidence to suggest a beating heart wasn't a prerequisite for abuse from this foul excuse of a man. Savile appears to have been involved in every aspect of abuse and has links to most of the biggest scandals, including the BBC scandal, Kincora, as well as children's hospitals, Broadmoor Secure Unit. He also has links to many showbiz personalities and politicians, but maybe his links to royalty could be the reason why he went for so long without being prosecuted, seemingly invincible and immune to prosecution. A very successful DJ and TV personality, Savile was in great demand and seemed to be motivated by children and young people. His show Jim'll Fix It was a huge success and brought him into contact with children all the time, allegedly taking advantage of a lot of them on the process. His charity work also brought him into contact with many vulnerable and sick children at Stoke Mandeville Hospital, where he had free rein to go where he wanted, regardless of the fact that the staff within the hospital were well aware of his abuse and often told the children to pretend to be asleep when Savile was around. Such was his reputation as a child abuser. Against all advice from her peers, Margaret Thatcher got her way and he got not only his OBE but was also knighted for his charitable work, although there were probably more sinister reasons for receiving them. He took a great many secrets to his grave, but many more have become public knowledge after many victims have come forward with allegations of historical abuse, in some cases going back 40+ years. His brother Johnny Savile was investigated for an alleged sexual assault on a female patient while working at Tooting Bec Mental Hospital in southwest London. He was dismissed from the job, but an amazing coincidence seems to have popped its head up. The security company in charge at Tooting Bec at the time was none other than GB Security Company, run by old Fagin himself, Roger Gleaves, the notorious Bishop of Medway. Of course there's no proof they even knew each other, but the fact they were from Leeds and working at the same institution, as well as living in very close proximity to each other, would have warranted further investigation, one would think. Alas, no. Gleaves' immunity knew no bounds, and again he disappeared into the woodwork and probably would have carried on with total protection and disregard if Yorkshire Television had not been making a documentary about runaways heading to London. What they discovered was evil on a biblical scale.